Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Sagittarius for the month of May, including late April 2023. Welcome, Sag. This is your reading. So we are in the sign of Taurus, which is under the zodiac sign of Taurus, and the element is earth. So hopefully everything's grounded this month, or you've got your feet on the ground. The energy around you. You will be in your 6th house of service, health, housekeeping, getting everything sorted that we kind of avoid most of the year, and then it all comes to a point where it's just got to be done. And you've got the Two of Wands. So fabulous fire energy moving forward, things going well, a few options at the end of this. The twos are always about decisions to be made. So are you going towards the sun, which is illuminated, that path, you know where you're going, or are you going towards the moon, which isn't so illuminated, so you're not quite sure, it's the unknown. But nevertheless, you will come to the point where at the end of it, it will be good for you. Can be all sorts of decisions to make about new projects as well coming in, and seeming you're in your 6th house. You may sort of well want to start something new, whether known or unknown. Your health, you need to sort of, this is the time, the house in your year that really any unexpected health stuff may pop up, usually does pop up in the 6th house. It's just about getting the house in order, really, picking up the slack of all the things you've avoided. Where you are right now, 4 of Cups, feeling a bit sort of deflated emotionally, sort of having everything that you could want. There's nothing you don't have. But emotionally you're flat. Something's happened emotionally where you just feel you're on a bit of a high, and now it's sort of the tires have gone down. This is very sort of transitory, this card, but it sort of makes us sit back and think, yeah, well, you know, look at what I have got, not what I haven't got. And it's almost like we can't have everything all of the time. We can have things some of the time. So if you're feeling like that, Sag, that is to sort of, the antidote for that is to look at what you do have. But especially relationship-wise too, someone might have really let you down, or you met somebody and then you sort of realised actually emotionally, no, this is not. So you feel a bit deflated. Let's see what the influencing card is, including what's going to be influencing the rest of the reading. And it was a matter of if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So there you go. All that glitters is not gold. And of course, you can't have everything all of the time. Like, as you can see, there's 7 sort of scenarios there, and this person wants all of them, but unfortunately we can't have all of them. But, you know, sometimes situations come along and we feel like it ticks all the boxes, it's exactly what I want, it's almost too good to be true. Well, it is. But that theme comes through this next 4 weeks, Sag, so just don't be jumping up and down about something that you think, oh my God, this will be a learn to eternal happiness, because there's going to be a draw, there's going to be a bit of a pushback there. Okay, let's see what was happening in March, April. The background, which is still current now. Yeah, and still, Sag, feeling a bit left out in the cold. Big change coming through. I feel a lot of people I've been talking to recently, you know, who are sort of quite like to be in tune with what's going on universally, have felt a big shift happening, and this is definitely the shift. where we do sort of stand back and go, oh my God, just it's like a clearing period, whether it's people out of our lives or habits that we realise are just sort of destructive, anything. So we're just kind of trying to stand outside in the cold, and because we just don't feel it anymore with those sort of groups of people or certain people, or even just what we're doing, where we're going at this point in life. So even though it does look like a miserable card, it's sort of a card to also understand that you're not being weird or odd by not sort of really wanting to join in per se. You're just wanting to sort of view things from a different stance. Things are changing too with the Five of Coins, and that there is this massive shift going on with the big planet, like the Pluto, and there, I think it's Pluto and I can't remember the other one, another big planet sort of moving across Saturn. So there's lots of movement going on where people are sort of really changing their outlook on life. Recent influences, and we have, however, things sort of picking up a bit in early May, things to look forward to, travel, no obstacles. So it is changing slowly, as long as you can sort of just stay with what you're doing at the moment, and these changes that have affected you, you stay with those and things will be good. This is a big travel card as well, great card, and it's a Sagittarian card. So it's literally saying you will come back to your happy-go-lucky, wandering the earth sort of state. This is just merely a it's like a lesson that you're learning to sort of re-evaluate where you're going and what's important to you and who's important to you. So good things coming in late April, early May. The lesson you'll be learning, feeling held back once again. Not, you want to get from A to B, but you keep getting caught up in the middle of all of this. You're like held back, you feel like someone's holding you back, you're not getting what you feel like you should be getting, maybe at work or just with anything. You feel like there's so many obstacles that keep just jumping in front of your path, and you have to go back and fight all these spot fires, but there's always a way to navigate through the Five of Wands. And it can be other people's opinions too. And I think too, once again, you just go along how you see fit at the moment, doing the things that you really like to do, and everything will work out quite well, I feel. Near future, we have single independent female or single independent energy. So really, Nine of Coins is about sort of completion. It's sort of returning back to an independent sort of feeling of yourself, of your worth and your work, what you're doing, even if you're not working, or just this self-worth of completion, that you've kind of navigated all these little obstacles that have been sort of thrown in your way in the last couple of weeks, and probably up until mid-May, and then you sort of start to see what you've learnt coming through all these sort of offers and change and obstacles. But yeah, travel and going back to being that Sagittarian and being authentic Sagittarian, travel, freedom, learning, spirituality, that will pay off. So that's your sort of moniker, isn't it? We know Sagittarius, they're always like to be on the move and booking tickets, etc. So that comes in early May, and then what's happening you're not realising. Two of Cups. So yeah, there has been a soulmate connection here. Could even be a really good friend, that suddenly things have broken down, things aren't so good. That's the soulmate sort of drawback, though. Sometimes too they teach us hard lessons where we sort of have to look at ourselves and change what needs to be changed. And maybe that's why they've come into our life. If it was a person that you felt really connected to, But however, where we find ourselves now with all this big shifts going on in this last couple of weeks, in March and April, we see that, you know, sometimes we've outlived that scenario has gone. It was maybe only brief, but at least it's sort of about us returning to who we are without sort of, you know, needing. Sometimes these people, soulmates, come in for a short while, not a long while. If that makes sense, it sounds a bit. But yeah, this is a soulmate connection here that you haven't realised with a certain person or relationship, where you just feel like, no, it's not going well. But that's the change. How others see you. Yeah, and you're a bit exhausted spiritually as well. The tank is definitely red flashing lights there. You need a holiday, you need a bit of a step back there. Energy's been, you put out a lot of energy, Sag, as you normally do, so you're feeling a bit exhausted and depleted. That's all right too. But that's how people see you. But then again, as I said, you know, if you sort of look into the astrology, what's moving and shaking with the planets, you'll understand, yeah, big changes sort of pushing through. So no wonder you're feeling, or others are seeing you without your normal pep. Positive feelings. And the moon, so the unknown, going towards the unknown. So obviously, like I said, with the energy around, you will go towards the unknown. Maybe there's a trip coming up or something like that, or there's something going to happen and you're not quite sure, but you just have this sort of really intuitive feeling that something's going to shift or something's going to be revealed to you that will explain all this current energy that you have. The moon does obscure things until we're ready to receive them. We can't see things clearly with the moon. There could be deception around you too from other people, and you're picking up on that. So just hold with that, Sagittarius, because you're normally quite spot on with those intuitive feelings where you just feel like, no, I need to give that a wide berth. There's something that will be revealed all in good time. So you're acknowledging that, and that's, you're feeling positive about that. The final outcome, and then decisions to be made. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, a small decision to be made, but it's, once again, it's only a little decision. It's not a life-changing decision, but it's just a decision to sort of, I guess, go with what's going on at the moment. Don't try and be too hard with yourself. There is a big shift going on. We need to get on board with it rather than sort of just standing there with our hands over our ears going, I don't like this. We've just got to put the swords down, as you can see, take the blindfold off and make that decision. Now I'm just going to put an extra on top of that, Sag, because yeah, I like things to possibly end on a positive note, and even though it's a minor card, a minor energy, let's just see what's underneath the surface. So underneath the surface is indeed your wish card. So don't worry so much, whatever, keep putting in good energy in, things come out, keep getting on with your business. Don't worry so much about the glitches, etc. The change, go with the change, and dreams will be realised. And these, of course, are dreams that we've actually made an effort with, nothing that's just going to sort of swoop along and change your life. We've got to sort of put a bit of effort into it. Okay, let's see your message, Sag. Housekeeping, remember, Sag, 6th house. Especially with health, things are niggling, go and get them checked out. And you have wisdom. Know well what leads you forward and what holds you back, and choose the path that leads to wisdom. Wisdom is the actual means by which we can purify ourselves. Just knowing this brings calmness and then faith, and eventually it brings truth to the light. There you go. Thanks for listening, Sage. Have a really good month. Get busy with it. and we'll talk soon. Thank you.